And we've seen that's absolutely doable on behalf of Red Rams in KP alone if they really want to over the next 3 matches. So they also have to be feeling very, very confident in what could potentially happen. And as we get that 10-second timer up there on the screen, it's almost time for us to get back into this match and hopefully see how TYK and Alliance resolve things.
Side of things, but it's whether they've got any utility to work with after their aggressive push onto the previous disguise. But now you can already see ult goes down straight away and Tom Yukung straight into the action.
It looks like they didn't want to have to wait much longer to make sure they pushed into this engagement. Some really nice shots out of effect doing work, but Dexter is able to take him down. Alliance now down to 2.
They have 2, but are we just going to see now the ability for Alliance to close in on the 2 remaining players who are going to get singed by this ring? And you can see Alliance dancing around at the moment saying, should we actually go for the res to try and get back up to a full 3? These close combat 3 versus 3s or 3 versus 2s now as Alliance begin to make their move in. And there we go, yet again, another player from TYK falls.
Effect also down, but Alliance look like they're able to turn the tables this time onto TYK as they're able to clean this up, eliminate a squad, and now in that area they've gotten rid of 2 of the threats. They've owned this entire north end and they'll be able to rotate away from here.
Yeah, really important really for Alliance now just to start getting rid of other teams that could be a potential threat to them as the tournament goes on. Tom Yukung, who were in 29th, just a little bit further out of the circle. Omit is going to be holding down this building, but they are being pressured at the moment.
They had some really nice shields heading into it, but Blast already in a really rough spot. Does go down, and Omit have a slight advantage. Or a disadvantage here. They go out so fast, I can barely keep up with it. Gear Gaming is someone that's really impressed me this event because they were the regional winners out of South America. We talked about it a few times on the desk. Maybe didn't know what to expect out of them, and they've showed up time and time again.
With those kills, by the way, Gear Gaming send themselves into the top 20, only 5 positions behind Omit. So those kind of fights are going to be so important as now Heroes, they're taking their engagement. But you can see on the other side, it's Red Rams who are going to be involved in this one. And it doesn't matter if you make the man cannon, you are going to be sent swiftly off of the map with some good shots coming out. And now, just plenty of action in the same kind of areas where Omit had previously gone down. Wonton Dumpling now getting involved in this one. Again, you're going to see the Mastiff be put to use here from the APAC South team. But can they actually get the final bit of damage to put them ahead here?
Trying to see if they may get some heals up here and continue back and forth with this poke damage. We also did see Heroes go down in the kill feed, and that's going to be rough for Heroes as they were in 32nd heading into this match. Another one of those teams that needs to get some points on the board if they want to try and avoid that elimination bracket. Wonton Dumpling do manage to get some time to reset here. Setting up a little bit of a smoke wall there and waiting to see what they can potentially pounce on. Meanwhile, Aurora, yet again, in another back and forth. You can see Chaotic Much going down in the kill feed. Aurora now moving in to see what they can do with it, but they lose OJ. Hardeki trying to see if he can maybe help from the other side of this wall. And 9imps playing a little bit of defense. Definitely have absolutely ruined what C9 was planning here.
Yeah, sadly going up against a Lifeline team as well. Even if you get that knock, if it is not the Lifeline, you are not going to be having a fun time. Quite a trial by fire for Cloud9 to have to go up against Alliance and then Aurora, 2 of the teams who don't really care about fighting at the moment. They've got enough points. They're just in this game to ruin it for everyone else right now, which is what Aurora have been doing this entire tournament, it feels.
If you weren't here yesterday where you watched them drop on 3 separate teams and locations, go back and watch that VOD because they have been playing out of their minds so far in this group stage, finding themselves in another fight, continuing to just try and bowl through anyone that's in front of them. This time it's BR Demons, and they're able to take down 1, continuing to move through. Another drops down onto Hardeki, cleans that one up with barely any effort, and Aurora are looking unstoppable.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, but it might just be okay for Aurora as they're able to get the wipe onto BR Demons. But Wonton Dumpling, they've been waiting here for quite some time, and they will continue to dominate this area, taking out Aurora. Cloud9 also will fall. 10 squads now remain, and we can start to think about good placement points for the teams that remain in this game. Points could be everything for them, as Wonton Dumpling have just continued to dominate this northeast side, and they're holding out Red Rams at the moment, who really have to push up because the circle is beginning to close in on them.
Wonton Dumpling hasn't been punished really for any of the engagement that they've gotten themselves into yet here so far. There is the potential for How to come in and start paying attention with all of this chaos going on, looking the way of Red Ram, so Wonton Dumpling will have to be aware of that. But right now, they've at least got the cover to kind of deal this poke damage any way they want to.
Red Rams have to make a push, and actually that could be the push, that could be the damage they need, but it's come from elsewhere. Liquid Alienware getting involved in this fight and giving a helping hand to Red Rams as now they steamroll in. They've managed to get 2 knocks, but HAO say this is our opportunity. We can also get involved in this fight, and they could be the ones who just arrive at the right time to this party.
I mean, you had mentioned Liquid Alienware just kind of biding their time. Now just proving to be a thorn in the sides of anyone who wasn't even looking their way. HAO moving around and now have a safe point at this top side of the zone. Don't forget, though, there is that rat from Passion UA somewhere on the map they'll at least be having to keep their eyes peeled for. But now everyone else who's already been holding these really solid positions in the next ring knows that a lot of the chaos on the outside is done, and they're gonna have to start looking towards the teams that are closer to them. Yeah,
now all that commotion's over with, we can start to focus on these teams who have been sitting central zone for the entirety of this game, really. Liquid Alienware being one of them. They're on the sniper tower, and they are sniping. They were the real threat to Wonton Dumpling and essentially kicked them out of the game. Riddle Order are going to be the team that hold the northern side. You can see on your map, SSG and Not Moist on that southeast side. All the meanwhile, Complexity are underneath Liquid Alienware. So for Passion UA, well, the remaining Rat and HAO, who are going to be arriving late, they might just get peppered by the squads that are currently in this zone.
Oh, it looks like we're going for that skyward dive. HAO looking to see if there's anywhere safe, but also looking for some information on where the rest of the squads might be. They're going to go to the other end of the ring and land right on top of Liquid Alienware. Yanya keeping them at bay with that flat line and dropping down from the high ground, giving that up, not wanting to push it if they don't have to, and Complexity will be inside, while HAO are now finding themselves in another back and forth, and Liquid go back up.
Yeah, great plan from Liquid, just having that fallback quite literally to drop down if they did get pushed, but it was the damage they were able to output which really held HAO back from doing anything on their drop, as the final Rat Passion UA also eliminated in 7th position. 6 squads now remain, and they are all very tightly tucked into this southern area.
The absolute composure that just came out of Liquid Alienware in that situation, they handled that beautifully and ended up benefiting for it, not only getting their position back, but barely taking any punishment for it. Meanwhile, a team that's been very quiet, hanging out here on the south since they dropped Not Moist. I was wondering where they would be at shield-wise. I was worried they might be one of the 2 teams on blues. I think it might be SSG also on blues, so they're gonna have to play this smart.
Not Moist in 16th position in the overall standings at the moment, so within that top 20. But of course, just being in that top 20 won't necessarily be good enough, because you've still got 2 groups yet to play coming into the rest of today. 5 squads now remain. 30 seconds until this ring begins to force them together. Everyone's got a position to play at the moment. Not Moist and SSG are on the southern side, and then you've got this congestion on the northern side between Liquid Alienware, Complexity, and then Riddle Order. This is where Ultimate's going to be massive. You can see a Gibraltar for Riddle Order. That could make a big difference, not just from the Gibby ult, but also the bubble could come into play here in the late game.
You can see Riddle Order kind of trying to peek around the side and get a feel for the rest of the teams up in the lobby. Liquid Alienware has that Bangalore ultimate at their disposal as well, if they want to punish any of the teams that will eventually have to move out of these buildings as they start to make that push. Meanwhile, they're looking down on to Not Moist and seeing if they can at least ruin their chances at moving in any closer. This is where everything is about to kick off.
Yeah, that was the calm before the storm, but now here comes the weather, because Not Moist are going to get taken down. 4 squads now remain. Liquid Alienware still kings of the castle, still have high ground, still are able to watch over everything, but now they have to drop. And again, this is where Nox grenades come into the things. Where's that bubble is going to be my real question.
Really solid fight there on behalf of SSG to at least get Not Moist out of their vicinity. now forcing everybody else to be the one who moves first. Complexity will have to move outside of that building. Riddle Order is waiting in the wings for that moment to see if they can maybe clean that up. And off in the distance, we see, look at Alienware constantly trying to be a menace.
But look at the Blues for Riddle Order. They are not going to be favorites in any fight. That's why the Bubble's going to have to come down and maybe take a close range engagement, but they're holding on to it. Finally, Bubble will come in. Maybe Riddle could do something. No, they cannot. 3 squads now remain. Riddle out of here, and Liquid Alienware still are holding the high ground, just watching over everything.
They have been so calm this entire end zone. They've been watching everybody else make their choices, reacting to them, and doing it flawlessly. Right now, still looking down on everybody below them, trying to do whatever damage they can before they are absolutely forced to drop. You can see those pings coming out. They know where everybody else is. Smokes to try and block some of that vision. Nice, quick little snap onto the team directly below them. Haguades trying to do what he can. Meanwhile, the flatline still putting in work for Yanya. Complexity does go down. It's all down to Liquid Alienware, and they close out match number 4.
What a performance from Liquid Alienware.